Hi, my name is Sarah Carasona, and I'm a paid media manager at CTC, and I am here to provide some guidance in this chaotic time of iOS updates and Facebook reporting. So you've probably already noticed that there are some updates in Ads Manager, and if you're feeling a little bit stressed about how to make decisions at a time where reporting is incomplete or inconsistent, you are not alone. Luckily, at CTC, we're employing a new strategy which will allow us to monitor data that will remain consistent throughout all of these changes. And what I mean by that is Google Analytics last click attributed revenue. So I'm going to show you exactly what we're doing at CTC and exactly how you can do it for your own business, so you can look back at historical relationships between Facebook and Google Analytics and then use that to help inform your future decisions. All right, here we go. Is download this lovely template that we have provided for you, and I'm going to show you exactly where you will grab this data from. Everything in gray is where you will be entering in data. The first thing that we want to grab is from Facebook. So we're going to get our 1-day view purchase conversion value, 1-day click, 7-day click, 28-day click, all purchase conversion value, and then the same thing for ROAS and our amount spent separated by month for all of 2020. Now, a couple things to note on this. The way that Facebook is reporting conversions is going to change very quickly. Instead of reporting on the date of impression or click, they are now going to be reporting on the day of conversion. And what that means is delayed attribution is basically null. It's not going to exist anymore. However, we still want to grab this data because this is historically how we have been making decisions in accounts. And so we want to make sure that we still have it and we can use that to at least inform how we change and how we adapt to making decisions moving forward. So to grab this, the first thing you'll do is go into Ads Manager, and we're going to customize our columns. I'll show you exactly how to do that. All we want is purchase conversion value, purchase ROAS, and amount spent in this order. And then for your comparing windows, you want your 1-day view, 1-day click, 7-day click, 28-day click, and then you want to deselect this default attribution window. We'll apply. From there, we are going to do a breakdown by month, and then you're going to go to your account overview tab. So in your account overview tab, note that it might look slightly different. Facebook is rolling out some updates here. So if it does look different, then you will probably need to grab this data via Supermetrics. Make sure that your date range is from January 1st through December 31st of 2020. If you wanted to do, a longer date range, you can feel free to do so. Just our template is simply laid out for 2020. Make sure that the data is filtered from January through December, and then we're just going to go ahead and export table data as CSV. I've already done this, so it's down here. I'm going to come back into my template. I just create a little blank sheet here to import the data. I'm going to go to upload and then just drag this right over. We'll replace current sheet. From there, I just want to double check that it is filtered correctly. Amount spent, purchase conversion value 1 day after viewing, 1 day after clicking, 7-day clicking, 28-day clicking, and then same thing for ROAS. Looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of this data, copy it, come back into the template, and I'm going to Command-Shift-V so that it pastes with the lovely formatting as well. So now what we have is our 1-day average, 1-day click average ROAS in Facebook, and we also have our 7-day click average ROAS in Facebook, so we can refer to that. The next thing that we want to do is something similar, but in Google Analytics. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to go to Google Analytics, Acquisition, All Traffic, and we're going to go to Source Medium. Now at CTC, we have our UTMs in Facebook set up specifically so that we can, our source medium is always CTC FB. And this allows us to be able to grab our data that we know is coming from Facebook traffic. So depending on how you have your UTM set up, you will probably do this slightly different. But I would recommend having some kind of standardization so that you know that you can definitively know that you are grabbing your Facebook traffic, your Facebook ads traffic data. So once we're in here, as you can see, we've got the CTC Facebook, but then we also have Direct None, we've got Engaged, Google Organic, so we don't want all that. We really just want our CTC Facebook data. So I'm going to go to Advanced, and I'm going to select Source Medium, and then just have CTC FB, containing, apply. Again, whatever yours is, that's what you would filter by. Now I only have data that is coming from our ads. I'm going to start by selecting January of 2020. Remember January of 2020? How much has changed? And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save this report. Now, I've already done it, but what this will allow you to do is, so once you save it, which I've already done, I've saved as Facebook traffic, then when you come into Google Analytics, you can just go straight to customization, and then you can go to your saved reports without having to re-filter all of your data. All right, so from here, we've got our January 1st through January 31st of 2020 selected. We are filtered for just our Facebook traffic. I'm going to copy the revenue and then paste it right into the cell for January. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the exact same thing for the remaining months of the year. So I'm just going to select February. And then copy this over and paste it in. Now, I've already done this for the remaining months. Yep, so it's the same. And then I've already done this for the remaining months. So once you have completed it for all of 2020, then what we have here is our Facebook full attribution ROAS. So this is the normal 28-day click, 1-day view ROAS. But then we also have our Google Analytics Facebook ROAS. So this is taking the attributed revenue in Google Analytics and dividing it by the amount spent in Facebook. So note that Google Analytics is last click data. So this is not telling us the full picture because we know that people will discover brands on Facebook and then potentially click or watch the whole video and then Google it, click, and then purchase. Well, Google's going to attribute that to Google. Facebook's obviously going to attribute it to Facebook. What we're just trying to figure out is what is the relationship between those two. So from here, we have our average Facebook ROAS in Google Analytics. So all of 2020 for this brand, we were at about a 0.46 of Google attributed ROAS. Whereas in Facebook, we were at a, average on a 1 day of a 1.13 and average on a 7 day of a 1.38. Now, this is then taking the percentage of the Google attributed ROAS to the Facebook ROAS. So on average, Google was reporting only 24% of the ROAS that Facebook was reporting. So what we can then do is know that if we have a goal Facebook ROAS, if our historical goal was a 2, what that attributes to in Google Analytics is a 0.49. And why this is important is now moving forward, so twofold. One, if we are monitoring on a daily or weekly basis what our revenue is in Google Analytics, dividing that by how much we spent in Ads Manager. If that number is around a 0.46, we know that we are on track and we are basically moving in the same direction as we have been. If it is below that, then we know something is a little bit off in our Facebook ads. If it's above that, then we're great. The other way that we can use that is, again, if we have a specific goal in mind, we can then track what we want our Google Analytics ROAS to be moving forward. Now, you can get much more granular than this. Going into Google Analytics and using UTMs, we can filter by campaign, by ad set, by ad name, and really be able to monitor it at a more granular aspect. But for the higher level overview, this will at least give you some information that you can use moving forward to inform your decisions that you make in your Facebook advertising. All right, I hope you enjoy. Happy advertising and happy 2021.